स्वागतम् अद्य बृहस्पतिवासरः. Today is Thursday. दिनाङ्कः 16th of February. द्वितीयस्य मासस्य षोडशः. रघुवंशकाव्यं 12 सर्गः. मङ्गलाचरणं प्रथमतः. रामो राजमणिः सदा विजयते रामं रमेशं भजे. रामेणाभिहता निशाचरचमू रामाय तस्मै नमः. रामान्नास्ति परायणं परतरं रामस्य दासोऽस्म्यहम्. रामे चित्तलयः सदा भवतु मे भो राम मामुद्धर. राम रामेति रामेति रमे रामे मनोरमे. सहस्रनाम तत्तुल्यं राम नाम वरानने. श्रीराम नाम वरानन ओं नम इति. अथ श्री माहेश्वर सूत्राणि अ इ उन् ऋक् ए ओङ् ऐ औच् ह य व रट् लण् ञ मङ ण नम् जबञ् घडदश् जब गड दश ख फ छ ठ थ च ट तव क पै श श सर हल इति माहेश्वर सूत्राणि. Okay, last time we are finishing up this द्व्यशीतितमः श्लोकः. 82nd verse. We were just read there. I think we did the translation, I think, but let us do some vyakaranam. It's a very simple shloka. Saralah shloka. Sugamah shloka. Itaranyaphi rakshansi petur vanara kotishu rajansi samarothani tachonita nadishviva. Simplest thing you can do is always samyak ucharanam, shanaihi uchaihi ucharanam. So chant slowly, loudly and correctly. Itaranyaphi rakshansi petur vanara kotishu rajansi samarothani tachonita nadishviva. Padacheda is straightforward. Itarani api rakshansi petuh vanara kotishu rajansi samarothani tachonita nadishu iva. Tachonita nadishu iva. This is a samastam padam. Tachonita nadishu. Of course, here you have a choice because the tat could be outside the compound, could be inside the compound. As we have mentioned many times, that we have this situation when you have a pratipadikam and the subantam having the same form. Then you do not know whether something is in the compound or is not in the compound. A usual method of deciding what's in the compound, what's not in a compound, is because of the sutram supo dhatu pratipadikayoho, which we use all the time. And that sutram says that inside a pratipadikam, a sup will take the look elision, will be removed by the method of look. So that tells us that if there is no sup pratyaya after pratipadikam, it's most likely in a compound. That's our method of deciding, what is in a compound, what's not in a compound. But now when you see the padam tat over here, the tat, of course, it has gone through some sandhi because of jalam jashonte, and then it has gone to the shtutvam because of stoshchunashchoho, and then karicha. And in the meanwhile, the chakara has become chakara of shonita has become chonita because of shashchoti. See, all these sandhi rules we are not taking in the class anymore. I'm assuming that you are practicing them. But if you want to really practice them, all you have to do is, for example, if you have to practice the sutram shashchoti 8463, all you have to do is go to the website and then let's see, you can just look up in the search. Let me put up a new page over here. So let me see. Then okay, let me put that over here. You have to just search for that sutram and it should pull it up for you because shashchoti. So this is a simple sandhi rule. If you want to practice any rule, you can just go here and come to the search and search for this sutram shashchoti. I'm sorry, I put the wrong thing here. 8463 shashchoti, and see what comes up. There should be some match, I'm thinking. No, okay, let me go up here. Let me try this. Okay, and let me go to shashchoti. Okay. No, maybe I was better off over there. Okay. Yeah, there should be a way to search for it. If we cannot search here, we can search the comments also for Shashchoti. No, okay. Let me try this way. Okay.
So Satishji.
Yes.
Satishji, Kalpesh.
Yes, Kalpesh. What's the best way to do this?
Satishji, can you go to the website rather than here? Can you go to the website avg-sanskrit.org?
I went to my thing, is it? Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I think I went to my editing mode. I should have gone over here. Kurtya Kalpesh in the class. Okay, this is how I got it. So now I go here and I type 8463. Okay, I was in the editing mode, so I was in the wrong mode. So 8463. Okay, here it is. In fact, you know what? Even that one gave it to me, Kalpesh. Even that one was correct, except I just didn't go and click on that. Okay. So
except that people will not be able to access,
I see. Okay. All right,
but that only after you log in.
Correct. Okay, I got it. So anyway, this is what you see on the website. So when you come over here, if you look at the sutram Shashchoti, so there should be, see where is Shashchoti used. Oh, this one has no response yet. Okay. Let me go back to one where there is a response, and we can. How about let's try this one. Shashchoti. Okay. So now if you look at this force, here it is Shashchoti. So if you look at Tasmat Shankitaha. Tasmad Shankitaha, then Tasmaj Shankitaha. So for Jalam Yashonte, then Soshchunashchuhu, and then Kharicha. And then we get Shashchoti. When the Jai letter means any of the Prathama, Dvitiya, Chaturtha Varnaha. So first, second, third, fourth column, because Javai up to Kapai. When any one of those letters precedes, then a Talavya Shakara becomes optionally the Chakaraha, Talavya Chakaraha, if a At letter follows. So these same steps, anyway, these Sandhi rules we're not doing in this class too much because we have the daily examples already available to you. So these examples you can follow, and as Kalpesh said, the best thing to do is come to the website, and over here you type in the search box the sutram you want to search, and if you've covered a sutram in the examples so far, you'll find an example for that. Okay, so here the same thing in what we have right now. So please practice these rules. So here what you have is that we have tat shonita nadishu. So it is tat plus shonita. So that's like we had in this example over here. We had tasmat plus shankitaha. Same thing over here. Tat plus shonita become tat shonita. Don't forget one thing, that within a compound, each individual term has the pada sanya because of pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam. So supting antam padam is not only, when it is not within a compound. Even within a compound, the terms have the pada sanya, generally speaking, by pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam. As long as sup has come, you get the pada sanya by supting antam padam. So even though look illusion has taken place, even though you do supo dhatu pradipatikayoho look, still it has the pada sanya inside because of pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam. Only thing the look illusion stops is the nalumata angasya. So only the anga karyam is stopped. Everything else continues because nalumata angasya says if you do look, shlu or lup, only anga karyam is stopped, but the pada sanya is not stopped. The pada sanya you still have. Pratyaya lope pratyaya lakshanam supting antam padam. So this tat which is inside the compound here has the pada sanya. Therefore you can do jalam yashonte and all that. So anyway, so this tat could have been outside the compound, could have been inside the compound. To keep tat outside the compound, there are a couple of choices. You can make tat as tasmat as an avyayam. You can make it an avyayam tasmat, in the meaning of tasmat, or you can take it as a pullinge prathama ekvachanam or dvitiya ekvachanam of the sarvanama shabdaha tad. If you try those choices, you will find that they will not fit properly in this sentence. So there's nothing to say that tat could not be outside the compound. It could have been outside the compound. But then the choices which you have is make it in the sense of tasmad and avyayam, or make it tad as, prathama or dvitiya ekavachanam napumsakalingi. And that will not fit because there is no neuter noun in the singular for it to qualify. We have rajansi, but that's in the plural, bahuvachanam. Rakshansi is bahuvachanam. So we keep tat outside the compound. So we have to try all these choices and see, which of them fits. In a different context, it could have been outside the compound. So you have to try all these choices. Again, you only have this issue if you have a pratipadikam and a subantam padam giving the same form, because tat is a pratipadikam and subantam padam also is tat, and that is, and also you have an avyayam tat. So that is why you have a situation where you have to stop and think: is this inside the compound? Is this outside the compound? And of course, if you want to make your life easy, you can look at the tika over here. Is tesham rakshasam shonita nadishu. So clearly, Mulinatha says tesham rakshasam. So then it's clear that this is inside the compound. Tesham. Always take the help of the commentary. There's nothing wrong with taking the help of the commentary. I think the purpose of this class is to appreciate the commentary, use the commentary to understand the text, because these texts which are worth reading, they all have good commentaries on them. So always read a good text with the authorized commentary on that text. So it's very useful. With the commentary makes your life a lot easier. And in fact, the commentaries are sometimes, much more readable than the text itself. So okay. So now what simple sentence is that? Itarani api rakshamsi, which is pratama bahuvachanam, even other demons also, petuhu. The form petuhu is that we already have it here, derived on this post on Jan 27th. Jan 27, you have the post on Jan 27. So the petu form is clearly lit lakaraha, prathama purusha, bahuvachanam, and the only thing here is of course by parokshe lit and then anubandha lopaha, tipta ji, pratyaya ji, because prathama purusha bahuvachanam. And then you get the ussa desha, purusnipadanam, nalatus, ustalatus, nalvamaha. All these are usual steps which you have seen many times now. Then liti dhato ranabhyasasya, abhyasakaryam, then haladi shesha, then the sutram ata ekahal madhye nadeshade liti. So you get when you have a akaraha which has no conjunct on either side, it is sandwiched between two non-conjunct consonants, and then there is no vishesh abhyasa karyam for the adi. The adi in the abhyasa takes no adeshaha, and the following pratyaya is a kit because of asanyoga lit kit. Therefore, we get the abhyasa lopa etvam. So the abhyasa lopa takes place, and we get the ekara adesha in place of the akara. So we can petuho. So this form we have derived. If you want to practice, you can go to this post on Jan 27th to practice this form. Okay, so petu means they fell down. They dropped down. They dropped down. So other demons also dropped down. Vanara kotishu, Vanaranam kotishu. So that means among the crores of monkeys, these demons, other demons, because already he has told us how Meghanatha, Indrajit, died, and he also told us how Kumbhakarna has died already, has been killed. So now other demons, not only Indrajit and Kumbhakarna, but itarani api rakshamsi petuho. Then comes the upama, eva. The eva is the marker here. The eva is the signal that we have in upama. Eva or yatha, words like these indicate upama. Of course, upama kalidasasya. So when we have kalidasa, we can expect the upama to come like almost every other sentence. So it says eva. Now when you have an upama, always match the vibhaktis. We have discussed that many times in the class, because in the upama and upameya, the comparison and the thing being compared, the vibhaktis will match. So the lingam and vachanam may not match. The lingam and vachanam may not match, but the vibhaktis will match of what is being compared to what. Very important thing is match the vibhaktis. Because here what do we have? We have Vanara Kotishu Saptami, Bhuvachanam. It's going along with Tachonita Nadishu. Tachonita Nadishu is Saptami Bhuvachanam, and this Vanara Kotishu is Saptami Bhuvachanam. Now we have Itarani Rakshamsi as Prathama Bhuvachanam, and Rajansi is Prathama Bhuvachanam. So that is how we know that the demons are being compared to specks of dust, and that the crores of monkeys, are being compared to like these river streams of blood of the Rakshasas. And so that's how. So the simple meaning of the verse is that other demons also dropped dead. I think in English you can say drop dead in this case, because look at the commentary. What does he say? Petuhu equals nipatya mritani ityartha. Means having fallen, nipatya. Yeah, of course, we see the pratyaktva. Ktva is, 3, 4, 21, which you have seen repeatedly in the class. 3, 4, 21 is samanakritakyoho purvakale pratyaktva. And then that takes the yap adesha when you have a compound, because you have the upasarga ni over here. We get samasanyang purvek, so lyap, so nipatya, and mrutani, so having dropped, they died. Mrutani ityartaha. So in English we can say that they dropped dead. They dropped dead. Even though petu only means dropped, but drop means dropped dead in this case. And the commentator makes it clear, nipatya mrutani ityartaha. And so, just like the specks of dust, they fell and they vanished in the streams of blood of the Rakshasas. Similarly, the demons themselves, they dropped dead among the crores of monkeys that were there. Now, one thing is Samarothani, which is where we stopped last time really. Samarothani is just no commentary. Samare atva samarad utthani. Samara is yuddham. So yuddhe utthani. Utthani means those to arise, arisen, those who had risen up, which had these specks of dust which had come up, which had risen up in the war or due to the war or in the battlefield. The specks of dust which had come up, they vanished. And this petuhu goes on both sides. Remember that the verb, generally speaking, will not be repeated in the upama. In the upama and upameya, the verb will not be repeated 2 times. You have to supply petuhu. So yatha samarothani rajaansi tachunitanayishu petuhu tatha itaranya rakshamsi vanarakotishu petuhu ityartaha. So petuhu iti divaram no uchyate. It will not be said twice. It is said only once. Okay, let's derive the form utthani. Utthani. So from dhatu ishtha gati nivruttau. We can, let me just go to the document here. Okay, utthani. So first of all, I said petu derived on Jan 27th post, and vanaranam kotayaha, vanara kotayaha, tasu vanara kotishu. Okay, utthani. Uttishtanti iti utthani. Those which arise, utthani. In fact, for those of you who chant the Devi Mahatmyam, when you chant Devi Mahatmyam, it's the last shloka. I think it's chapter 11. I think it's chapter 11. Ittam yada yada badha danavottha bhavishyati danavottha badha tada tadavatiryaham karishyam yadi sankshayam. So ittam yada yada badha danavottha bhavishyati tada tadavatiryaham karishyam yadi sankshayam. So if you chant next time, listen to Chandi Patha. Chandi Patha. Chandi Patha also has 700 verses. It is similar to Gita in that sense. But this Chandi Patha is in the last verse of chapter 11. Ittam yada yada badha danavottha. So which is arising out of the demons. When the demons create some problems. So these problems created by the demons, arising from the demons. Danavottha. Anyway, so that is another place where the word Utta comes in the Devi Mahatmyam. So how to derive this form Utta is this sutram. Let's look. Uttishtanti iti utthani. This dhatu ishtha. Gati nivruttau shtha. Of course, the dhatu ishtha gati nivruttau, what happens is that the adi shakara takes the sakara adeshaha by dhatva adeshasaha. And then nimittapaye naimittikasyaapyapayaha. Which means that when the nimittam goes, when the cause is gone, the effect is also gone. When the cause is gone, the effect is also gone. So dhatu again is stha. It is in the dhatu part, it is stha gati nivruttau. Means not to move, to stay in one place, to stay in one place, not to gati nivruttau means that absence of movement, not moving. So stha, the adi shakara, becomes the dantya sakara by dhatva adeshasaha is 6164. Dhatva adeshasaha. Then after that, nimittasyapaye naimittikasyaapyapayaha. So we get stha. Then what happens is that from that stha, we use this sutram 31136. 31136, it says Atashchopasarge. Be very careful. This sutram Atashchopasarge comes in two places. Just like in yesterday's class, we saw the sutram Amvyaya Bhavascha comes in two places. Sutram Nishtha comes in two places. Sutram Tehe comes in two places. Similarly, the sutram Atashchopasarge comes in two places in the Ashtadhyayi. So you have to be careful in which context you are. This is where, as we always say in the class, it is important to know where in the Ashtadhyayi are we in? Which context is this sutram being prescribed? This is being written by Panini. The other sutram Atashchopasarge comes in the adhikara of Striyam Ktin adhikara, which comes over here. There is the same sutram Atashchopasarge Striyam Ktin, like a word Upadha. Those were derived from the word from the sutram Atashchopasarge in Striyam Ktin. But right now we don't want that. We don't want to create a feminine noun. We want to create an adjective. The Utta is an adjective. If you look at the shlokaha, the Utta is an adjective. Is qualifying the Rajaunsi. Pratipadikam Rajas. Rajaunsi is Prathama Bahochanam of Rajas. So here again, we're not doing the Subanta Prakriya in this class because we are assuming that we've done that already. So if you want to practice that here, Rajaunsi, we get the Numagamaha by Napumsakasya Jalachaha. So that Rajaunsi, because of, first of all, we get add the Pratyaya Jas, which gets the Shi Adeshaha. That comes over here. As my teacher always told me, if you want to do Pratyaya Adesha, when the Pratyaya completely changes, is substituted out. Look in the beginning of 7.1 of the Ashtadhyayi, and sutram here is that Jash Shasoho Shi. So you get the Shi Adesha, the Shi gets Sarvanama Sthana Sanya, the 1142, Shi Sarvanama Sthanam, and then we get the Numagamaha by Napumsakasya Jalachaha, and after that we get the Upada Dirghaha by 6-4, it's 10. Santamhatas Sanyogasya. If you want to get an example on the website, I would suggest you search for the sutram 6-4-10. Santamhatas Sanyogasya, because if you have a nakara sakara sanyogaha, nakara sakara sanyogaha, and followed by a pratyaya which is sarvanama sthana pratyaya, then we get the upada dirgha. So that's how we get the form Rajaunsi. If you want to practice these examples, you can look over here and try to find a sutram 6-4-10 Santamhatas Sanyogasya. See, this website is now, see where let's see, Santamhatas Sanyogasya 6-4-10. I think what's here, it is Santamhatas Sanyogasya. Let's see if you can find an example here. Santamhatas Sanyogasya. Here it is. So like, this is for Mahat. But anyway, so we can work a Santamhatas Sanyogasya. So we Sakaranta and also for Mahat. Let's see if we can find a different one over here. Santamhatas Sanyogasya. And what's happening here is that we are getting all the hits for 6-4-1-0. So we get 105, 106. So we get a lot of Santamhatas Sanyogasya. Anyway, you can look over here. You should find one. We haven't done this one for a while because it's an old sutram. Because okay, here it is. Santamhatas Sanyogasya. Let me try this one. Santamhatas Sanyogasya. Any new sutram, repeat the sutram as many times as you can. So let's see. Santamhatas Sanyogasya. Here, how about this one? This is also slightly different. Okay, you got the word Vidwan over here. Anyway, you can go on the website and look for 6-4-10. Try to find a similar example, Rajaunsi. But basically what happens is here is that you got the Sarvanama Sthana Sanya because of the Jash Shasoshi. So that we get the Shi Adesha, then Shi Sarvanama Sthanam by 1142. And then we get the Napunsakas Jalachaha Numagamaha, and then Santamhatas Sanyogasya Upada Dirghaha. So that we get the Rajaunsi. Okay, Utthani, back to Utthani. So anyway, Utthani is an adjective to the Rajamsi. It's not a feminine noun. So the sutram we want to use right now is 31136 and not the one in 3.3. We want to use 31136. What does this sutram say? Ataschopasarge. Ataschopasarge. And the pratyaya is kaha. Pratyaya is kaha. This is not a joke. Doesn't mean what is the pratyaya. Kaha means doesn't mean what pratyaya. Kaha doesn't mean what. The pratyaya is called kaha. Ka is the pratyaya. The pratyaya is ka. So 31136. Before using any sutram, you can always look at the vritti of sutram and see what the sutram say. Let me see if I can pull up the vritti for you of Santamahata Sanyogasya. Let me see if I can get the vritti for you. Santamahata Sanyogasya. And there you can check if all the conditions for applying sutram are satisfied. So what we want is that, let me try to put it up for you. Santamahata Sanyogasya. Santamahata Sanyogasya. In fact, sorry, right now Ataschopasarge. Ataschopasarge 31136. Ataschopasarge. 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 Ataschopasarge 31136. Ataschopasarge. What does this sutram mean? Ataschopasarge. Akarantebhyaha dhatubhyaha upasarge upapade ka pratyaya bhavati. So when you have a akaranta dhatu, what do you have right now? We have the dhatu stha, so that is satisfied. Upasarge upapade, because we have the upasarga ud. What is upasarga? Let's refresh ourselves. Is the pradaya. When they are kriya yoge, they call upasarga. So 1, 2, 1, 4, 58. Pradaya upasarga kriya yoge gatischa. Kriya yoge gatischa. In fact, in yesterday's class, we looked at this section about the karma pravachaniyaha. At that time, the pradaya not kriya yoge. So yesterday we were looking at this section of karma pravachaniyaha. That time the pradaya are not kriya yoge, but the pradis are kriya yoge. Pradi is a gana. Pradi is a gana, and ud is in that gana. There are about 22 of them. When they are used kriya yoga, they get upasarga sanya. And when upasarga is in upapadam, then a dhatu ending in akaraha can take the pratyaya ka. Let's remind ourselves that kartari krit, that a krit pratyaya is used kartari by default. Kartari krit. Let's also remind ourselves that we are in the adhikara of krudating. Krid a thing. So pratyaya ka will get the krid adesha. See, all these adhikaras are very important. Very, very important, because this ka pratyaya gets the krid sanya, because it's the adhikara of krid a thing. And also let's remind ourselves is tatropapadam saptamistam. Tatropapadam saptamistam. Sutram we're using right now is that we're using ataschopasarge. That upasarge is saptami. And that means that the upasarga has to be as upapadam. Upapadam means samipam ucharitam. Padam upapadam. So as long as the upasarga is close by, then you have a akaranta dhatu can take the pratyaya ka to form a adjective in the sense of the agent, the doer of that action. So what we have now is that we can take this dhatu stha in the sense of gati nivrittau and say ud stha plus ka, because we have upasarga and upapadam, and we have a dhatu in akaraha, and we have the ka pratyaya. This is really fun of Ashtadhyaya. You can enjoy the vrittis by checking every single condition. Like always remind me when Dhiyankarji is in the class that as like a lawyer, you have to check every condition. Everything is satisfied before applying. Before you apply a law in your case, you have to make sure that, or the prior judgments of the court, you have to make sure that the conditions in your case are similar to that or are satisfied, before you can apply that. So we can get uda stha plus ka, and of course anubandha lope lashakva tadhyate, and then we get the ato lopa iti cha. If you have an akaranta angam for pratyaya which is ajadi, it's a kit pratyaya, then the angam takes lopaha alontyasya, so we get ud stha a. And finally we get the ut takaradesha by kharicha, and then we get 8461 udastha sambhoha purvasya. So when we have this stha or stambh dhatu which follows the upasarga, which follows ud, so following ud, so this is now we are way at the end of the Ashtadhyaya. So we already applied kharicha, and now we are saying udastha sambhoha purvasya. So following ud, the sakara stha or sthambh takes the purva savarna adesha. So purva savarna adesha, which means that we have the takara as the purvam. So this sakara, which is a mahapranaha, and it is a karkasha varnaha, is going to become the thakara adesha, because among the the na, the first thing you have to check is that is the sakara, is it a hush letter or a khar letter? The sakara is a khar letter. So now you have to choose among ta and tha. And among the takara and thakara is a mahapranaha. The sakara also is a mahapranaha. So we choose the thakara adesha. So we get uttha. And then what happens is that by jarojari savarne, if you have a hal letter followed by a jar, followed by another jar, the two jars are savarna. Remember that every letter is savarna with itself. Every letter is savarna with itself. So we have a jar followed by savarna jar, and we have a hal jar followed by savarna jar. Then the middle jar takes pakshika lopaha. So we get a form uttha. So one more time, applying the sutram, which is atascha upasarge, it says that if you have a akaranta dhatu with the upasarga as upadam, then we can apply the pratyaka, sense of kartari krit, of course, and we apply the pratyaka and we get anubandha lopaha, then ato lopa iticha akar lopaha, then karicha, then udastastambhoho purvasya, and then jarojari savarne, we get the form uttha. If you don't apply 68465, then we get uttha, but otherwise we get uttha. So then samare yuddhastale utthani, samarothani. So, and then now the thing is that how can we apply this saptami tatpurusha samasa? Well, as we always have said, please remember, if you want to form a compound in this language, if you want to justify a compound in this language, samasasya samarthanam, you have to find a samasa vidhayaka sutram anveshtavyam. Dvitiyasya adhyayasya prathame pade athva dvitiye pade. Prathame dvitiye cha samasa vidhayaka sutrani labhyante, because all the rules which authorize a compound are found in 2.1 and 2.2 of the Ashtadhyaya. Within that, from 2.1.2.2 up to 2.2.2.2 is adhikar of tatpurushaha, and right there we have sutram, which is saptami shaundaihi. This saptami is only so saptami. Don't forget sahasupa. So saptami antam will compound with the subantam padam, but that's only compounded with these particular words, shaundaihi and the shaundadikanaha. And the next sutram also gives certain words, but the word uttha is not there. Then how do you justify this compound samarottha? Well, what we can do is that there is a anurtya of bahulam is coming down here. So when bahulam comes here, we have to extend these rules to 140, 41, and we can then justify this compound samare utthani, samarothani, because otherwise you will not find the word uttha in the shaundadi ganaha or in these sutras 41, 42. Uttha will not be there, but we can extend that because of bahulasya. So because this is what Kashika says, is that bahula grahanasya eva evam udaharana prapanchaha. So because of these bahulam, we can extend these sutras to 141. So we get the tatpurusha compound samare utthani, samarothani. Okay, so last time we did the translation last time. Let's go through it one more time. Is that which is very straightforward. Nagaraj is always here to help us out. So the translation was that other means itarani, demons is rakshansi, also is api, fell is petuhu, on the crores of monkeys is vanaranam kotishu, vanara kotishu, shashti tatpurusha, straightforward. They appeared like is the iva. They appeared like is the iva. Dust is rajaunsi. Raised is uttha. From the battlefield. You can even say samarad utthani. So he says from the battlefield. You say we can say from the battle, as a matter of fact. On account from the battle. Due to the battle. So you can say samarad utthani is also a possibility. So that is samarothani, raised from the battlefield. And literally speaking, rising. Because remember this, that pratyaya ka which you just used by atascha upasarga is kartari. So they are rising from the battlefield, rising from the battle, rather than raised. I mean, this is English translation, of course, which can say rising from the battlefield. And then falling upon, again this falling is repeated because petu goes both sides, and upon the streams of their blood is tat shonita nadishviva. Tat means tesham, rakshasam, shonitasya, nadyah. So nadyah, so they are the streams of blood of the rakshasa. So this is very straightforward Shashti Tatpurusha compound. Tesham rakshasam shonitasya nadyah. And then tasus, among the streams of blood of the rakshasas, just like the dust vanished, similarly fell down and vanished, similarly the other demons besides Kumbhakarna and Indrajit, they fell and they dropped dead among the crows of monkeys. Okay. So this was not very difficult shloka. Let's take the next one. Let's see what we have. Triyashititama shlokaha. 83rd shlokaha. Niryayavatha paulastyaha. Punaryuddhaya mandirat. Aravanam ramam va jagadajyeti nishchitaha. Niryayavatha paulastyaha. Punaryuddhaya mandirat. Aravanam ramam va jagadajyeti nishchitaha. Niryayavatha paulastyaha. Punaryuddhaya mandirat. Aravanam ramam va jagadajyeti nishchitaha. So niryayau atha paulastyaha. Punaha, when you do the padacheda, punaha. Yuddhaya mandirat. Aravanam, aramam va jagat adya iti nishchitaha. So it is jagat adya iti nishchitaha. Now, of course, adya prasiti adyeti by ad gunaha is straightforward. Now, and here you have a nice echo yava yavaha sandhi going on here. Niryayau atha become niryayavata, because it's niryayau atha. Now, this again, this form like niryayau, we have already looked in the daily examples. But you can on December 28th. We have the post yayau. So you can just go to the website and you can look at the post for December 28th. The only special sutram is ata au nalaha. So on December 28th, we had the post yayau. See, these forms are now we are getting to use. This website takes a lot of time and effort to put together. Of course, there may be some errors, definitely. But I know some of you are helping out with that. Thank you very much for that. But once we have them, we can use them. We can copy, paste. You can do all these things, once we have it in place. So the web is the resource we have now. So we should use that to that. And the good thing of the web is we can correct and edit that. These examples are meant to be corrected. They're meant to be corrected. They're not meant to be as, the siddhantaha, but, shodhanartham. They're meant to be corrected. So we had the form yayau, pra, yayau. We had, so dhatu is ya, pra, pane is to reach or to go, The usual steps we had lit by paroksha lit, anubandha lopaha, being the pratyaya tip, because vivaksha is pratham purusha ekavachanam, takes the nala adeshaha, by purusha padanam nalatu sus, as usual. And then the only thing special is ata au nalaha, Null pratyaya takes the aukara adeshaha, following when it follows the dhatu ending in the akaraha, like papau, jakau, dadmau, and this gives a chance to inaugurate Gita for today and Bhagavad Gita for today. Let's inaugurate Gita for today. Shankham dadmau pratapavan tata sanjanayan harsham kuru vidyaf pitamaha simhanadam vinadyochaihi shankham dadmau pratapavan. Dhatu is dhamma. In Bhagavad Gita in chapter 1 itself, you can say Bhishma Devaha. He Shankham Dadmau Pratapavan Tata Shankhascha Bheryascha Padavanaka Gomukhaha Tasya Sanjanayan. So Tasya Sanjanayan Harsham Kuru Vidyaf Pitamaha Simhanada Vinadyochahi Shankham Dadmau dadmau. So dadmu dhatu dma. So similarly here ata aunalaha. And of course, you do the abhyasa karyam before doing vruddhirechi. You do abhyasa karyam because of durvachanechi. Durvachanechi, because this ukara, this aukara is a nimittam for dvitvam, because that is a lit pratyaya, liti dhaturanabhyasasya. And the aukara is also nimittam for the vriddhyadesha. So we have to wait, the vriddhyadesha has to wait, dvitve kartavye. So do the abhyasa karyam first, ya plus au, then we do the rasvadesha, and then vriddhirechi yayau. So if you want to practice these steps, you can go to the post on December 28th and practice. So we have the same form in this Raghuvamsha Kavyam right now, is the form yayau. It says niryayau. Nirya is to set out, to exit out, to go out. Nir means to go out, to exit, to set out. So simple sentence is Paulastyaha niryayau. Is Ravanaha set out. Now the word Paulastyaha we have derived also repeatedly in the last few classes. Paulastyaha we derived in verse 72. So if you want to practice that, you can go back and look at verse 72. We derived Paulastyaha in two ways. We derived Paulastyaha. We derived Paulastyaha in two ways. And there it is the, verse 72. Even this document is becoming quite large and versatile, because we can use this document now to derive all these forms which we have. So in fact, many of these things that we do are all copy and paste from prior classes. Okay, so Paulastyaha should be here now. Prior shlokaha Paulastyaha. And here, okay, so we derive it as Pulastehe Gotrapatyam Paulastyaha. You can get from the Gargadibhyascha, which we have looked at in the class 41105. Paulastyaha, or some Puranas stated as Pulastyaha rather than Pulasti. So if you want to use Pulasti, and we use Gargadibhyo Yai, and we can derive Paulastyaha from that. We get the Adivriddhi with Diteshvacham Adehe, and we get the Bhasanya Yachibham, we get Paulastyaha. Or we can derive Paulastyaha from the Pulastya. Pulastasya Gotrapatram Paulastyaha. So then we can use the same sutam gargadibhyo yai. But here the only special thing is that when we get to this last step, when you do the yachibham yasyeti cha, then we have to use the halo yamam yami lopaha. Halo yamam yami lopaha. Pakshika lopaha by 8464. Halo yamam yami lopaha. Just the only last thing. If you start from pulastya, see, there's in some Puranas have Pulastya as, Ravana's, grandfather. Some of them have it as Pulasti. So Pulasti is straightforward. We get Gargadibhyo Yai. We just use Yachibham Yasyeti Cha, and we do that. We get the Adivriddhi by Taditeshvachamadehe, because the Pratyaya has the Chavarga Panchama as an it. If you start from Pulastya already and then get Paulastyaha, you will have, after doing the yasyeticha akar lopaha, we'll have Paulastya ya. At this point we get halo yamam yami lopaha. If you have a hal followed by yam followed by the same yam. What is yam? Yam means yavarat lan nyamanganam. That is yam. Yakara is a yam, of course. So it will be yam followed by same yam. So if you have a hal yam yam, then the middle yam can optionally drop, because we have a takara which is a hal followed by yakara which is a yam followed by the same yam yakara. Then it drops, you get Paulastya. Anyway, if you want to practice, you can go back to the class of verse 72. So this was the class of Jan 19. Okay, coming back to our verse right now. So we are in verse number 83 right now, verse 83. Okay, so Paulus have derived in verse 72. Now even this form, Aravanam Aramam Va. This is a very straightforward Bahuvri compound which we have practiced repeatedly. It is like Aputraha. Avidyamanaha Putraha Yasyasaha. One who has no son. And Bhagavad Gita, nice example. Chapter 6 of Gita, very first look of chapter 6 of Gita. Of course, there are many of them in Gita. But we can take one. Anashrita karma phalang karyang karma karoti yaha sasanyasi cha yogi cha naniragnir nacha kriyaha akriyaha avidyamanaha kriyaha yasya saha akriyaha. is coming in Bhagavad Gita chapter 6, first shloka, akriyaha. So same thing, it's a Bahuvri compound. There's a Vartikam which we have studied in the Wednesday class in full detail. This Vartikam states that Nanyo astyarthanam vacho vachotra padalopa. This particle nai. Nai is this way that Panini puts this as a negation. Negation is nai. So nyai goes into Tatpurusha compounds, of course, like Abrahmana, etc. It also goes into these Bahuvri compounds. And the nakara, of course, the ending Chavarga Panchama Nyakara is an it by Halantyam, Tasya Lopaha, and the Adi Nakara of Nyai takes Lopaha by Na Lopo Nanyaha. Na Lopo Nanyaha. F6373. Again, I'm not going into more details because we've done it in great detail in the Wednesday class, and in fact in this class also we will use this Vartikam repeatedly use this. So the Vigraha Vakyam is avidyamano ravano yasmin ravanam jagat, just like aputraha avidyamanaha putraha yasya saha atva akriyaha avidyamanaha kriyaha yasya saha. So one who's devoid of that, one who doesn't have that, one in whose that is missing or not present. Not vidyamana means present, Vartamana, present. So this is a Jagat in which there is no Ravanaha. So a Ravanam Jagat means that Ravana Shunyam. If you look at Malinatha, it says Ravana Shunyam Jagat. So Ravanina Shunyam. It is devoid of Ravanaha. So Ravana Shunyam or Rama Shunyam va bhavet. So in the shloka here we have a quotation ending in iti. When you see an iti as the end quote, you try to find out where the quotation begins from. And in this case is very straightforward. Aravanam, aramam, va jagat, iti, nishchitaha. So he resolved to say that Ravana went out to fight. Resolved, determined that today the world will be free of Ravana or free of Rama. Means either I will die or he will be killed. So there will be, I will not come back until that, either it is free of. So it says Ravana Shunyam, Rama Shunyam va Jagat Bhavet. You supply the Bhavet. So let the world be, or may the world be free of Ravana or free of Rama. Enough of this battle. So I am going out now and I will fight until the world is free of me or free of Rama. So devoid of, empty. So that means that you supply the Bhavet, and he has given a Paryaya Shabda as Ravana Shunyam. So avidyamano Ravano Yasmin Tad Jagat. Ravana Shunyam is Ravanena Shunyam, which is devoid of. Shunyam is empty of Ravana, free of Ravana. Atva Rama Shunyam. So thinking thus, iti nishchitaha, determined, just determined Ravana set out to fight. Determined today the world, so may the world be free of Rama or free of Ravana. So that is the Paulus. So this iti nishchitaha, this entire thing is a clause. It's qualifying Ravana, Paulastyaha. So Paulastyaha nishchitaha. So Ravana was determined. And how was it determined? Determined that. The iti is a that. Determined that today the world may become free of Ravana or free of Rama. And then of course Punar is and Avyam is again. This time he set out to fight again. Before he had come back one time. So now he will not come back. He went out to fight for the last time. Punar means again he went out. And Yuddhaya means for war. Yuddha, straightforward form. Yuddhaya Niryayau. He went out to fight. Yuddhaya. Mandirat is, you can say, Prasadat, from his palace. Mandira doesn't always mean temple. Mandira doesn't have to mean temple all the time. Mandiram can also mean a palace or a home, just like that. So Prasadat Nirjagama. So then he says that okay, let's finish off the compound which you're talking about. Is that, so we have avidyamano ravano yasmin aravanam. So use the vartikam nanyastirthana vacho vachotra padalopaha. He says that nanyaha paresham astirtha vachinam padantarena bahuvrihir vyakhyayah astirtha vachinam tu lopaha ityartha. This word vidyamana takes lopaha. This astirtha, in the sense of being, existing, being present. Astyartha, the meaning of being present. So Vidyamanam is present. So one is the world in which Ravana is not present. That Vidyamana becomes Avidyamana. This is really a joke. The Vidyamana becomes Avidyamana. The Vidyamana is gone. So then this is Vartikam, which allows us to use the Lopa of Vidyamana and make us Kamasa a Ravana. Similarly, a Ramam. Now, he makes a couple of comments here before we go to translation. The comments he says is that Nishchitaha Nishchitavan Kartariktaha. What is that now? What's Kartariktaha? Like we say Ramaha Vanam Ramo Vanangataha. Rama has gone to the forest. Now Gataha normally Nishtha Pratyakta. Nishtha Pratyakta normally comes in the passive. By Tayoreva Krityakta Kalarthaha. We just looked at the Sutram 467, which says Kartarikrit, but this says Tayoreva. Bhavakarmanoho eva. Krityakta Kalarthaha. The Pratyakta should come in the passive. But right now, Nishchitaha is not in the passive. Nishchita is not in the passive, in active sense. And we have seen this in the class before. The Sutram 3472 is a very important Sutram, because the Kta Pratyaha is often used Kartari in the active sense. And then you have to come to 3472. Says that Gatyartha Karmaka Shli Shashing Sthasa Vasa Jana Ruha Jiryati Bhyascha. So following a Gatyartha Dhatu, sense of more like Ramo Vanangataha, or Akarmaka Balakaha Suptaha Atrasthitaha. So these are all akarmaka. And then these specific dhatu, shli, shashing, stha, as, vasa, jana, ruha, etc. So right now what do we have? We have nishchitaha. Nishchi is to determined. So it can be sense, like when you say, I think when you say nishchitarthaha, like in what we call as the engagement, right? They call nishchitarthaha. When you have an engagement ceremony, engagement nishchitartha means you're determined. Determined means have been resolved, or it's a surety. So when somebody decides to marry somebody else, it's called nishchitartha. So this fact is now fixed. Fixing of the marriage is called fixed, determined, resolved is called nishchitaha. But nishchitartha, that case it is passive. Artha nishchitaha. So it has been, so by the vara and the vadu, the artha is nishchitaha, that they are going to get married. So that is a passive sense. Nishchitaha artha, nishchitartha. But here nishchitaha is active. Then how come it is like that then? Because here it has been used in the akarmaka sense. Nishchita means he is determined. He is just determined. Not as determining something, he determined. So depending on which meaning the dhatu is used, if it is used in akarmaka sense, then it become active. It can become active. It doesn't have to, it can become active by gatyartha, karmaka, and so on and so forth. So this says that this is it's not gatyartha, it's definitely not gatyartha. See, we have only these choices we have. We have to use, I don't see any other choice before using 3472. 3472 has to be used here as far as I can see to get the kartariktaha. Look at the commentary. The commentary says kartariktaha. Kartariktaha. When you see this commentary, kartariktaha, then come to this Sutram 3472, Kartariktaha. Remember that from today's class. Kartariktaha means, because he says Kartariktaha. It says Ktaha Kartari. Kartari. I think there's a typo here, should be Adi. Adi Karmani Ktaha. Means to. This 3471 is not used that often. Means to, you can try to use that one also. You can try to use Adi Karmani. It's used to begin. To begin something. Adi Karmani. To start something. So maybe you can use that one. You can use Kartariktaha. Bottom line is that this Kartariktaha, you have to come to this section. And the most important sutra is 3472. I think what we can take here is that we can take the Nishchi in the Akarmaka sense. Means he was determined. It's not as determining something else. He was determined himself. He was determined to make the world free of Ravana or free of Ramaha. So he says, so I think you can use this Akarmaka in this sutram to get Kartariktaha. So one more time, Kartariktaha you have to come to this section over here, 3, 4, 71, etc. That's what Panini says. The pratyakta can be used in the active sense. Kartariktaha means in the sense. Kartari means in the sense of the agent of the action. So kartariktaha 3, 4, 70. That is only these two rules. 3, 4, 71, 72. So now we can try to fit in 3, 4, 71, which is in the sense of a adi karmani. There's a typo, should be adi karmani, which is to in the beginning an action, to start an action, to start something. So, and then, or we can say gatyartha karmaka. I think akarmaka will fit over here. So kartariktaha means that, say nishchitavan, means that he was determined. So I put that in a document over here. So study 3472. It's a very important sutram. When the pratyakta is not used in the passive, then try to see if 3471. 3472 will do the job. Most of the time 3472 will do the job. It says kartariktaha. So we see this is why you have to know vyakaranam. Because what does kartariktaha mean? What is the meaning of that statement, kartariktaha? If you know vyakaranam, you know exactly what it is. If you don't know vyakaranam, you're saying, what is that kartariktaha? I have no idea what it means. So that is why we learn vyakaranam, so we can understand what these scholars are trying to say. Just to understand what they're trying to say, we have to know the jargon. We have to know the terminology of vyakaranam. If you do not know, then we lose half the commentary is already lost. See, all the subtle points in the commentary we're going to lose if you don't understand vyakaranam. So vyakaranam is a tool to understand what the Tikakara Bhashyaka is trying to say. Then through that you try to understand what the Mula Grantha is trying to say. To understand the Mula Grantha, you have to understand the Tika. To understand the Bhashyam. To understand that, you have to understand Vyakaranam, because otherwise you not know what they're talking about. So kartariktaha, what is the meaning of kartariktaha? Means the affix kta, which is normally in the passive by 3470, tayorevar krityakta kalartaha, can be used in the active in certain senses. That's what kartariktaha means. He says Vijaya Maranayor Anyatra Nishchayavan. So he will paraphrase. What does it mean? Ravanam Ramam Va Jagat Bhavet. Means that he was determined Vijaya Maranayoho, that out of victory and death, Anyatara means one among these two, Nishchayavan. Here a Nishchayaha, that I will either win, I will be victorious, or I will be killed. So Vijaya, so this is just the bhavartha of the shloka. It says Vijaya Marana Yoho. Among these two, Vijaya Marana Yoho. Among these two, Anyatara Nishchayavan. So he had made a determination now that I will either have victory or I will be killed. Nothing. So there's no third choice now. I'm going out. I will either be victorious or I will be killed. So Vijaya Marana Yoho. Anyatara Nishchayavan. Here Nishchayavan, of course, Pratya Vatup is being used, which also we discussed in the Wednesday class in great detail. This sutram is Tadasyasti Asminniti Matup. That is the Adhikara, which starts from 5294. And then if you want to do some homework, and the Makara of Matup becomes Vakaraha by Madhupadayascha Mator vo yavadibhyaha. So we have to use Nishchayavan, we have to use 5294 with 829, like Balavan, like that. So we become Nishchayavan is one who had the Nishchayaha, that I will Anyatara Nishchayaha. Anyatara means that I will either have victory or I will have death, nothing else. Punaryuddhaya mandira niryayo nirjagama. He said niryayo nirjagama. Of course, jagama is the same lit form, Pratham Purusha Ekvachanam of Dhatu Gam. And also, this also Jagama, you probably have seen in the daily exam. Let me see if we've seen Jagama. We'll go to translation, but I think we have seen Jagama. I think the form Jagama we have seen. Jagama. We have seen Jagama in daily exam. Let me see if I can find it. Jagama. Yes, Jagama. In fact, here we have Jagama also we have. So Jagama is there on December 14th. Jagama. Only thing happening here is that we get the Kuhoshchuhu Jakara Desha. Otherwise, the usual steps we get Atopadhayaha, Nala Desha. If you want to practice Jagama, go to December 14th, December letter. Okay. Anuvada, translation. You ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, again, thank you for being there consistently.
Yes.
Very useful.
Happy to do it.
Okay,
Glad to be.
so let the world be.
Jagat,
Jagat, and then you take bhavet from translation. You take bhavet from the commentary.
Jagat Bhavet.
Jagat bhavet. You saw that iti. See that when the iti is used, it adds these things. So he went out thinking. Today the world, without Rama, without Ravana, that bhavet is kind of understood in that iti matva. So let be is that bhavet which is understood. The world, of course, is Jagat. Today is
Adya.
Adya. Adya is an avyam, by the way. Adya is an avyam, meaning now, meaning today. So today or now. So today means today, now. Either is what? This one.
Either Va.
Va means either this or that, or. Destitute, free, rid of Ravana, which is
Ravanam.
Avidyamanaha, Avidyamano Ravano Yasmin Jagat, or of Rama, that is
Aramam.
Aram. Thus is, we say iti. Iti is always that, thus is iti. Thus. Resolved? Nishchitaha. See, he is resolved. It's not that he has been resolved by something. This is the kartriktaha. So he determined. So he is the one who determined. He's not determined, he's in active sense. So he is the doer of the determination. He's not been determined by somebody else. He determined himself. Okay. He, the son of Polastya, is
Paulastya.
We derived that by Gargadibhyo Yai. He's not the son, He's not the son of Pulastya. He's the grandson of Pulastya. He's not the son of Pulastya. I think we need to change that. Because see, the Gargadibhyo Yai is only Gotre. Gargadibhyo Yai, which we have used over here. Gargadibhyo Yai. In fact, I think he's not the son.
Gotre.
Yeah, it is not. I don't think it's the son. It should be, let me see, Pulastya. Let me see.
Gotrapatya.
It's a Gotrapatya, and if you check Pulastya, let me see, Pulastya. No, okay. How about Pulasti, maybe? Check Pulasti. Okay, Pulasti, okay. Pulasti, Polastya, okay. Oh, there's nothing here. Okay, let me try Ravana. I think he's not the son of Pulasti. He's not the son of Pulasti. Ravana. Okay, let's try Ravana. Okay, let's see if we might. He was the son of Vishravas. He was son of Vishravas, not of Pulastya. He is called Paulastya, meaning a grandson of Pulastya. See, that's what it is. He's not the son of Pulastya. Even if you know Vyakaranam, we use the Pratyak Gargadibhyo in Gotrapatya. So that itself will tell us this is not the son. And from the story also we know he's not the son of Pulastya, he's the grandson. So we need to change the commentary a little bit. The grandson, okay, make it grandson. So Paulastya. Then
Atha
is then came out, set out.
Niryayau.
Niryayau means to, Yayau is to go, Niryayau means to set out, to go out. From his palace is
Mandirat.
Again, mandir doesn't have to be temple, it can mean palace or house also. To fight. Yuddhaya, for battle. Again. Punaha Yayau. Okay, so straightforward shloka. It was nothing that much difficult, just some little kavyam going on as usual. Let's try the next one. It says that Ramam Padatim Alokya Lankesham cha Varuthinam Hariyugyam Ratham Tasmai Prajighaya Purandaraha. Ramam Padatim Alokya Lankesham cha Varuthinam Hariyugyam Ratham Tasmai Prajighaya Purandaraha. Ramam Padatim Alokya Lankeshancha Varuthinam Hariyugyam Ratham Tasmai Prajighaya Purandaraha. So Ramam Padatim, alokya lankesham cha varuthinam hariyugyam ratham tasmai prajighaya purandaraha. Okay, Ramam Padatim are both Dvitiya Ekvachanam. The karma of alokya means having observed. What is a simple sentence here is prajighaya ekating vakyam. What's the strategy? Our normal strategy is that we try to find the tingantam padam. Just like in the last shloka we had niryayau. So Ravana set out. That's the main sentence. This sentence what we have? Purandaraha is Indraha. So Indraha prajighaya. So he dispatched. This dhatu is he. He is to send. And prahi is to dispatch. So prajighaya is a lit lakara. It's pratham purusha ekavachanam. The only thing happening here is that there is the kavarga adesha. This gakaraha. There is one special vishesha sutram, vishesha karyam, kutvam. Kutvam atra vaishishtyam. Asya rupasya vaishishtyam. The kavarga adesha. So this will be a difficult form to decipher. If you don't know the rules, which is for the kavarga adesha, kutvam, prajighaya. Just derive this form quickly. Otherwise, it's a straightforward form. Dhatu is he. He is to send. Not a very common dhatu. I don't think it may not be in the Bhagavad Gita. So like the prahita. So prahita means dispatched. So let's look at this. Is he gatau vruddhaucha in the hinoti. It becomes hinoti. Hinoti means to send. So it says if you take he plus lit, it's usual parokshe lit, then the prittipadeshaha by anubandha lopaha and tiptashi, then get the naladeshaha by prasnipadamam nalatus thalatusa nalvamaha, then we get the anubandha lopaha chutu halantyam. So far straightforward. Then we get before doing the achonyati, we do the abhyasa karyam because of dirvachanechi. Dirvachanechi demands that the abhyasa karyam has to be done first. So we do the abhyasa karyam, we get he plus a, yuti dhaturanabhyasasya, and then we get the kuhoshchuhu, we get the jakaradesha because the hakara is a mrudu varnaha, it's a just letter, it's a mrudu varnaha, it's a soft consonant, and it's the mahapranaha. So we get the jakaradesha. So it takes the kuhoshchuhu. Chavargadesha, Jakaradesha. And now comes the special sutram 7356. This is the special rule. So far there was nothing special up to this point. You got G, he plus A. But now 7356, the sutram I think which we have seen is Chajoho ku ghinyatoho. That one we have seen. It is the ku, Kavargadesha. And then we are going to use the sutram Herachangi. In fact, in a recent post, we had asked this question about 7352. If you look at this sutra, we didn't do in the class, in the Saturday class, but we are going to see it now we just saw in the recent post, 7352, the Kavarga Adesha, the Anuvritti of Ku goes from 7352. So Kavarga Adesha, here see there's if you look at this post of Feb 13, just a few days back, on Feb 13th, 2012, this year, we had this post, and there we have the form Jigyu. If you want to do some homework, look at this post of Feb 13th, form Jigyu we have. And that time we had asked the question, is that which sutram is used for the Kavarga Adesha in the form Jigyu? The dhatu is G. And then there is this adhikara, this section of anuvritti of ku goes from chajoho ku ginyatoho down up to 7369. So anuvritti of ku goes from Chajoho Kuhinyato up to 7369, Bhojyam Bhakshe. But from 7359 starts the Nishedha. So that's only the prohibitions. These are only prohibitions. So if you want to form a Vidhi, you want to, right now we have the form Prajighaya. We're trying to find out which sutram made the Kavarga Adesha. So if we only have to look from this sutram up to 58, and that sutram is Herachangi. So we're going to look at this section in this post when you get the answer on Feb 13th post. Feb 13th post. This we have the form Jigyu. The same thing here. We get a Kavarga Adesha in Jigyu from Dhatu Ji. So that is the question which was asked over here, is that you can find a sutram from 7352 to 7358. So that time, that sutram, by the way, is this one. San Litor Jehe for Dhatu Ji. This is Herachangi. Herachangi says that the Dhatu Hi takes the, and this Anuvritti is also coming of Abhyasat. From here, Abhyasat is coming. So if you have the Dhatu Hi following an Abhyasa, Purva Abhyasa, what we have right now? We have the situation that we have right now is we have Ji, Hi plus A. So Herachangi says if you have the Dhatu Hi following an Abhyasa, then this Hakara will take a Kavarga Adesha. So Adef Parasya. So the Adi Varnaha. So following Abhyasa, which is Jhakaraha, will take the Kavarga Adesha. So we get the Gakara Adesha, because again the Ha is a Mrudu Varnaha, it's a just letter. It's also a Mahapranaha. It takes the Chaturtha Varna Adesha. Ka, Kha, Ga, Gha. Takes the Gha Adesha. So one more time, 7356 is this sutram here. It's not a very common sutram, but if you recall that there is this section for Kutvam in 7.3 where certain dhatus take a Kavarga Adesha following an Abhyasa. If you remember that, then you can try to, so 7.3, right now we're using Herachangi. Any new sutram, repeat it a few times in your mind. Herachangi. Herachangi, Herachangi, Herachangi. It says that Hinoter Hakarasya Abhyasaduttarasya Kavargadesha Bhavati Achangi. As long as the pratyaya is not Chang. We don't have pratyaya Chang right now. See, the form Prajighaya is in Kashika. Form Prajighaya. So what's happened now is that we do have the dhatu Hi, Hakara of Hi because of Adef Parasya. So following Abhyasa. Remember when you want to do any Adesha, we had to look at these four rules as to which term takes the Adesha by alone Tyasya, Nitya, but then Adef Parasya. It says Abhyasat Parasya. So following an Abhyasa. So the word which immediately follows the Abhyasa, the letter which immediately follows the Abhyasa, in this case it is the Hakaraha. So Adef Parasya. So 1154 also Adef Parasya. So that Hakara will take the Kavarga Adesha, which is Ghakaraha, and then we are all set. Once we get the Ghi, then we do Achonyati, Echo Yavayavaha, and finally Abhyase Charcha. So the important sutram here is Herachangi. Herachangi. Okay. So that is the, so simple shloka is what? Is Purandaraha Prajighaya. Indraha, he dispatched. That's a simple sentence. Indra dispatched. What did he dispatch? Ratham Prajighaya. He dispatched a chariot. To whom? Tasmai Ramaya Prajighaya. He sent a chariot to Ramaha. So Indra, sent a chariot for Ramaha, unto Ramaha. He dispatched it to Ramaha. Now, you know this sutram which is this Karmana Yam Abhipraiti Sasampradanam. Remember, when we have to assign any vibhakti, we have to use a vibhakti vidhayaka sutram from 2.3. And I think it's 2.3.13 says Chaturthi Sampradane. So when a word is used in the sense of Sampradanam, it has a Sampradana Sanya, Chaturthi will be used. Chaturthi will be used in that sense of Sampradane. Now, what is Sampradanam? For that we have to go back to 1.4 and in the Adhikara of Karake, in Ajakarake, and there Panini says is that karmana yam abhipraiti sampradhanam. So the targets, when this object of a verb, in this case ratham prajigaya, he sent a chariot. But chariot for whom? The intention of the chariot, who's the recipient of the chariot? The recipient or the beneficiary of the chariot is whom? It's Ramaha. So that Ramaha will get like Gurave Patram Likhati. Somebody writes a letter to his teacher. So Gurave Patram Likhati. So these kind of usages can be justified by the Chaturthi. I'm talking about the Chaturthi Vibhakti. Which sutram will authorize Chaturthi Vibhakti? We say Chaturthi Sampradane. But then we have to establish that Tad has Sampradana Sanya. Why is it Sampradana Sanya? Because of Karmana Yam Abhipraiti. Abhipraiti means Abhiprayaha. Means the intention. So the karma, the object of the sending is the Ratha. Ratham Prajigaya. Now the Ratha is intended for whom? The Ratha is intended for whom? That person, in this case Sri Rama, or in this case the pronoun Tad, will get the Sampradana Sanya because of Karmana Yam Abhipraiti Sampradhanam. So that which is the target or the object of the giving. So when you give or send or do something for somebody, that object, that person or thing to which, for the sake of which or unto which that is done, Sampradana Sanya. So 1,432 and then by 2,313 Chaturthi Bhakti. So Tasmai Ramaya Prajigaya. Simple sentence is that Purandaraha Indraha sent a chariot for Shri Ramaha. That means if you get this simple sentence, the rest of it are, clauses, adjectives. We can take them as we can, and if you don't understand all of them also, it's okay. You got the basic sentence because we started from the verb Prajigaya. We established we anchored a sentence in Prajigaya. Then we looked for the subject, which is Purandaraha, Indraha. We looked for the object, which is the Ratham, in this case, Ratham Prajigaya. And then we got a Sampradhanam with that Chaturthi, with Sampradhanam we got Ramaya, Tasmai Ramaya Prajigaya. Now rest of it is there. There is a adjective for Ratham, Hari Yugyam. Now I told you one more strategy is that if you look at a word like Hari Yugyam, you can look at the commentary and replace that word with a simpler word, just to get started, just to keep it simple, to begin your analysis. You can take a word from the commentary and replace the word in the Mula Patha. So what does Malinatha say? Kapila Varna Ashvam. So it's a Bahuvari compound. It is a chariot which has a Kapila Varnaha Ashvaha Yasya Saha Sarataha. It's a chariot. So Kapila Varna means brown color. So it is a chariot whose horses are these tawny color, brown colored horses. So Hari Yugyam means Kapila Varna Ashvam. So we got the meaning now. So this is a chariot. So Kapila Varnaha Ashvaha. So it is a chariot whose horses are brown. So okay, did I have a typo? I think Kalpesh had sent me a typo. Excuse me 1 second. Yuddhasthale. I think I may have a typo. I think just let's see. Did I have a typo back here? I may have a typo back here. Yuddhasthale. Okay, I didn't have a typo. Yuddhasthale. Okay. Yuddhasthale, I think. Okay. Looks okay. Alright. I thought I might have a typo. Okay. Anyway, so what we have right now is that we have this Hari Yugyam. Slightly complicated word, but then we can look at the commentary and get the meaning quickly as saying as Kapila Varnashvam. So Kapila Varnaha Ashvaha. So those are which has brownish. Kapila is like tawny, brownish. Kapila Varnashvam. Now, the thing is that how do we get this meaning? So what it means is that the Hari must be standing for brownish, yellowish brownish, Kapila Varna. And the Yugyam Yugyam must be standing for Ashwa. Okay, we can surmise that the Hari Shabda should be brownish. So that's what we have seen before. We have seen the word Hari before. Now Hari of course means Lord Vishnu. It also means anything which is brownish, yellowish brownish. So Hari is given the Amar Kosha. Here it says that Hari is Shuka hi kapi bhekeshu harir na kapile trishu. So it says that Shuka ahi kapi and bhekeshu harirna. So Hari is this is from Amar Kosha. So Hari is a masculine noun. The sense of Shuka, parrot, ahi is a snake, kapi is a monkey, and bheka is a frog. So it's a masculine noun in these senses. Or trishu, it's an adjective. Trishu means trishu lingeshu. It can go in all three genders in kapile. So you see how carefully they use the words in the commentary, because Amar Kosha says kapile trishu. So Hari means can stand kapila in all three. It is an adjective. It can go in all three genders in the sense of kapila, means brownish. In fact, if you want to go quickly to Apte and see what meaning is given for Hari. So Hari has variety of meanings in a masculine noun. As a masculine noun, Hari has variety of meanings. But in the sense of an adjective, it means brown. So kapila means greenish yellow, brownish, reddish brown, kapila. In fact, here it is. He is quoting this Raghuvamsha. So Hari Yugyam Yartham Tasmai Prachigaya Purandaraha. So it can mean greenish yellow, reddish brown, it can mean yellow. But if it means Hari is a masculine noun, it means Vishnu. Or it can mean Shiva also. It can mean Yama also. It can mean the sun. It can mean the moon. It can mean the ray of light. It can mean fire. It can mean wind. There's a lot of meanings. It can mean a horse. It can mean a lion. It can mean a horse. It can mean a horse of Indra. It can mean a monkey. We just saw that. It can mean a monkey. So it has a lot of meanings. It can mean a parrot. So that is a shuka. It can mean a bhekaha, a frog. It can mean a snake, ahi. So it has variety of meanings, but the meaning in the sense of an adjective is trishu, kapile trishu. So it can mean a parrot and a snake and a monkey. It can mean a frog. But this is na means this is na. This na is prathama ekvachanam of pratipadikam nr. The pratipadikam nr. Nr means a man. So na is prathama ekvachanam of the pulling pratipadikam nr. Nru, just like nara is a pratipadikam nara. The pratipadikam nr is rukaram the pratipadikam nr. That nr is declined. It gives is like like if you decline the word karta will become karta, right? Same thing, nr will become na. So na means in the masculine. So man, na means man. So masculine, Hari means these meanings, in these meanings. But it's also an adjective in all three genders in brown. So that's why it says kapila. Okay, so Hari means kapila. Now what about yugyam? He says is that yugyam is yugam vahanti iti yugyaha rathashvaha. Yugyam is like a yoke. So those which carry the yoke. Rathashvaha means that they are the horses of a chariot. So yugyam is a special word, as you say. Kalidasa always teaches vyakaranam. Any opportunity to teach us vyakaranam. So this is a special usage, yugyam. So yugya is tadita prayoga. Look at the sutra number. There is a typo here. There's a typo here. There's a typo here. Let's go to the document. The document we have is sutram, which says that 4476. 4476. 447. In fact, if you look at this number itself, we have discussed in a Wednesday class the 44. That's called the tagyat padaha. Tagyat padaha. Why is that? Because we discussed that in 4.4 starts the adhikara of tag. It says prag bhatesh thak. The pratyaya thak is prescribed. See, it's very important to get these. The tadita is like a tadita aranyam. It's a maharanyam. It's a big forest of taditas. It means it's a long section. It's kind of a detailed section, so it's difficult to get a handle on it that quickly. But if you can focus on the adhikaras, you can get a better handle to understand what's going on. So here the adhikara of prag bhavate shtak stops. Let me remind you one more time, not to spend too much time in this class, but remember that our default pratyaya an prag divyato an, we started way back from 4183 prag divyato an. So that an ends, that an pratyaya ends at divyat, prag divyato an. I know this might seem a little bit out of context for you, but always keep an eye on the Ashtadhyayi map. So anything that you can learn about the Ashtadhyayi map, that will help you learn Vyakaranam. Because this is the Mula Shastram. These are the words of Panini, and he has organized them for a good reason in the way he has organized them. We study Siddhanta Kaumudi, it is fine, but we don't lose Sarga Ashtadhyayi. So Prag Divyato an, from 4183 it starts. This is also Seva of Panini, that you study what he has said, what the Shastram says. So Prag Divyato an goes from 4183 up to 442. Prag Divyato an, up to word Divyat. Divyat. Immediately before that starts Prag Vahate Shtak. And then the Tak ends up to the word Vahati. Prag Vahati. In fact, interestingly enough, we're going to use this word Vahati right now. So Prag Vahate, but up to prior to that, before that, right before that, the Tak Adhikara ends. So Tak Adhikara ends before the word Vahati. And the word Vahati comes in Tad Vahati. The sutra we're going to use right now is this one, 4476. Tad Vahati Ratha Yuga Prasangam. Ratha Yuga Prasangam. So we get the Prag Vahate Shtak and then Prag Hitad Yat. So this Yat Pratyaya is then set as default from 4475 up to this Prag Hitad, up to Tasmai Hitam, which comes at the beginning of 5.1. Tasmai Hitam. So one more time, this 4.4 of the Ashtadhyayi is a Tag Yat Padaha. Tag Yat Padaha. Why is that? Because the Pratyaya Tag is set by Panini as the default up to 4475. From 4476 starts the Praghita. And the very first sutram is Tadvahati Ratha Yuga Prasangam. So now, so in fact, this one which is Prag, so Prag Vahatesh Tak, up to the word Vahati, Tak is used. So that sutram we're going to see right now is 4476, is Tadvahati Ratha Yuga Prasangam. Let's look at the meaning here before we use the sutram. What does this mean? So Pratyaya is Yat, we just saw that. So Tadvahati, in the sense of one who carries that, one who bears that. So that is the Pratyaya Yat is used to signify something or someone which carries that. Which carries that. And what is that? So this says this. So look at 4476. Tadvahati Ratha Yuga Prasangam. It says that Ditya Samarthebhyaha Ratha Yuga Prasangebhyaha. So Ratha, Yuga and Prasanga. These three. So following these three ending in Ditya, you use the Pratyaya Yat in the sense of the one who carries that. The one who carries that. So in this case we have Ashvaha. Yugyaha Ashvaha. Yugyaha Ashvaha. So there are the horses which carry the yoke, which bear the burden. So which bear the burden of the yoke. Vahati means who carries or who bears. Bears or carries the yoke. So that is what we use in Sutram 4.4. Let me read it in English. We read the meaning in English. So 4.476. Tadvahati Ratha Yuga Prasangam. Tadvahati Ratha Yuga Prasangam. So Sutram says that the affix Yat comes in the sense of what bears it. The one who carries that bears that. After the words Ratha, Yuga and Prasanga. Ratha, Yuga and Prasanga. He says that Ratha is of course Ratham Vahati Rathyaha. What bears the chariot or the car. Similarly, Yugyaha, a yoke bearing means animal, or that means horse or ox. And Prasangyaha, being trained in a brake. Prasanga is a piece of wood placed on the neck of colts at the time of braking. Okay, so Ratha Yuga Prasangyaha. So that is the Ratha Yuga Prasangam in the Sutram. So that's what we have. So If you look at the number 4476 one more time, we adhikara of tag yat, and then the yat starts from 4475. The very first sutram is this one, is tadvahati ratayuga prasangam, and the vritti says that द्वितीया सामर्थ्येभ्यः रथ युग प्रासंगेभ्यः वहति इति एतस्मिन् अर्थे यत् प्रत्यय भवति. So then we can take this and we can derive this form now. Is you can take the ratham vahati iti rathyah. So similarly we get yugyah. So ratha plus plus when we add the pratyaya yat, we get the by this sutram tadvahati rathayuga prasangam, and then we of course get the halantyam itsanya for the yat, halantyam takarasi itsanya, tasya lopad and samudaya gets the pradipika sanya kritya samasascha. Then we get supo dhatu pradipika yoho, the takes look, and then we get yachibham yasyeti cha. We add tadita pratyaya, yangam gets the bhasanya or the patasanya in this case because pratyaya is yakaradi, yangam gets the bhasanya, then yasyeti cha gets akar lopa gets rathya. Rat same way yugya. So yugam vahati yugya. Yuga is the yoke. The yoke. So these are horses which are bearing the yoke. Then harayo yugyaha is that means kapila varnaha yugyaha. Yathashvaha yasya. So finally make a bahuvri compound. Is that this is a chariot whose yoke bearing horses are brownish in color, or greenish, yellowish, brownish in color. And so that's what this is, Hari Yugya. Now, we had the word, we have one more clause over here. The clause which we have over here is that Alokya. Now remember this is Pratyaya Ktva, is that Samana Kritukyoha Purva Kale Pratyaya is Ktva. And then we get into compound. We just saw this right now, we just looked at it in the word where we have it, Nipatya. We just saw in the word Nipatya. So same thing. In fact, in Bhagavad Gita, very beginning of Bhagavad Gita, we have this form, don't we? Is that in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita, I think the second or third verse of Gita itself, we have that Dushtva tu Pandavanikam. So Dushtva tu Pandavanikam. Yudhan Duryodhanastada. Then Acharyam Upasangamya. So Sangamya. So having approached Dronacharya, then Duryodhana says Sangamya. This is the same pratyaya. Tva becomes lyap. This is a very nice shloka, by the way. Drishtva vyad pratyak tva does not become lyap. But Sangamya we have becoming the lyap adesha because that's a compound. So very nice shloka in Gita to practice the two rules. 3.4.71 Saman Kritikyoho Purvakale, when the same agent does two actions, the Purvartini Kriya, the Dhatu of the Purvartini Kriya, that Dhatu takes a Pratyak Tva, Drishtva, having observed the army of the Pandavas, and then having approached his teacher, Duryodhana said something. So we have Drishtva and Sangamya. Drishtva does not become Lyap, it's not a compound. Upasangyam is a compound. So we get the Lyapa Adesha, and that one is 7th 137. Samasangyam Purve Ktvo Lyap. In fact, we just discussed in the class today, which always my teacher reminded me that always is the 7.1 when the pratyas get completely substituted by something else. That's 7.1, and in that we get Samasangyam Purve Ktvo Lyap. That barring a negation compound, in any other compound, the pratyaktva becomes Lyap. So we get Akrutva. You get the form akritva. There the tva will not become lyap because that's just a negation compound. In any other compound but a negation compound, the tva becomes lyap. So we get the lyapa adesha. So dhatu is lok. So we can look at the document now. So yes, somebody is doing two actions, and this is the prior action. So lok is to observe. So lok is to observe. So that lokru. It has just various meanings, says Bhasharthi, which has various meanings. And alok is to observe, to notice, having observed, having seen. This is the Churadi Ganaha. So we have the Pratya Nich, Churadibhyo Nich, Swarte. Anubandha Lopa Chutu Halantyam. We get the Dhatu Sanya by Sanajanta Dhatavaha. And then we have the Pratyaktva, we just discussed that. And then we get a compound by Kugati Pradayaha, because this is a Gati Sanya. Because you know the Pradayaha Upasarga Kriya Yoge Gatishcha. by 1460 they get the Gati Sanya also. They can go into the compound with the Gati Samasaha. And then we get Samasanyang Purve Ktsvalyap. And after that we get Neraniti. Anidada Vardha Dhatuke Pare Ne Lopasyat. You must have heard this 100 times from me already. Probably 100 times more from me. Is that Anidada Vardha Dhatuke Pare Ne Lopasyat. If you have a Nich Pratyaya which is followed by a Pratyaya which is the Sanya of Ardha Dhatukam, and that Pratyaya which is the Sanya of Ardha Dhatukam does not have an Ida Agamaha, the Pratyaya is Lyap, Anubandha Lope Ya. So this cannot take an Ida Agamaha, because remember our basic rule. The Ida Agamaha only comes to a Pratyaya which is Val Adi. So Val is any consonant except the Yakara. Yakara Varjita Hal. So because the Pratyaya is Lyap, it is Anubandha Lope Ya, it is Yakaradi, it is not Valadi. It cannot take an Idagama. Remember, it's very important thing. Pratyaya can take an Idagama only if it's Valadi. It's not Valadi. And so this Pratyaya, but this Pratyaya Twa which you bought by 3421, it has the Krit Sanya by Krid Ating, because 3421 is in the Adhikara of Krid Ating which starts from 3193. And it has a Sanya also of Ardhadhatukam, because of Ting Shit Sarvadhatukam, Ardhadhatukam Sheshaha. Then we go to the Adhikara of 6446, which is Ardhadhatuke, and that says that 6451 Nera Niti Anidada Ardhadhatuke Pare Ne Lopasyat. So Nish takes Lopaha, and we get the form Alokya. So now who's the Samanakarta? It's very obvious. We look at the one who's doing the later action. Because the one who's doing the action of Prajighaya must be the same one doing the action of Alokya. Because we just say Samanakartikayoho Purvaka, what Panini says. So Pratyaktva can only come when the same person, same thing, same agent is doing two actions. We already determined our main sentence is Indraha Prajighaya. So he must be the same agent of Alokya. So having noticed what? Ramam Padatim. Padatim is this, Padabhyam Atati iti Padatihi. It's a foot soldier. So Rama had no chariot. He is in Vanavasa. So he had no chariot. So he is on foot. Having noticed Sri Rama on foot, and Lankesham, Lankayaha Isha, Lankesha, Ravanaha, where the lord of Lanka, the ruler of Lanka, he was Varuthinam. Varutha is like a fender of a chariot. It's Rathaguptihi. Rathaguptir Varutho na iti Amaraha. Amarkosha says, again, na is the Prathama Ekvachan of Pradipadikam Nr, means man, means in this case masculine. So this Varutha is a masculine noun. Rathasya Guptihi, Rathaguptihi is something which protects the chariot. It's a protector, like a fender or something like, which protects the chariot. So chariot protector. So it's a part which protects the chariot. And then what he says, Atra Varuthena Ratho Lakshyate. So here, Varutha means that Ravana had a protector for his chariot, means that of course he had a chariot. As understood, we cannot have a Varutha without Ratham Vina, Varutho na Sambhavati. Tasmad Atra Varuthena Ratho Lakshyate. So what it means is that Varuthin is a word like, Chakrin, Balin. So this is the Pratyaya Ata Inithanau, which we looked at in great detail in the Wednesday class. Ata Inithanau. So Varutaha Asya Stiti Varuthin. So these documents are now getting very useful. So that sutram is Ata Inithanau. So again in the Adhikara of Ata Inithanau, Ata in Adhikara of Matup. So Ata Inithanau. Adantar Pradipadika. Matvarthe Inithanau Tadita Pratyayo Vastaha. Which Adhikara are we going to? Adhikara of Tadasyasti Yasminiti Matup. So Ravanaha, Lankeshaha, was one who had a Varutha. Means he had a chariot. So looking so, Tadasyasti Yasminiti Matup Ata Inithanau. Which means if you have Adantam Pratip, in this case Varutha, that Varutha is ending in the Akaraha. and following that ataha. Remember, we have the adhikara of nya pratipadikat. So following a pratipadikam ending in a akara, we can use a pratyaya ini or tan in the sense in matvarthe. Matvarthe means in the sense of matup. Matup means one who possesses that. The possessive affix. So varutho asyasti iti varuthin. Varuthin. So atta inithanau. If when we derived the form dandi just a few days ago, dandin dando asyasti iti dandi. Or dandika or dandavan. So danda plus su, like varutha plus su. And the usual steps we do anubandha lopaha. Then pratipadika sanya by krutita samasashcha, then supodhatu pratipadika yoga. The good news is that tadhitas are complicated in the sense that it's a vast section. But once you find the sutra that you want to use, the prakriya is sukara. Sukara, so prakriya, sarala prakriya. So prakriya is straightforward. But the, sutrasya anveshanam. Anveshane kashtaha. So the kashtam. The kashtam is in the finding the sutram. Once you find the sutra pratyaha, then the good news is that the bonus is that the steps are easy. The steps are easy once you know which sutram to use before pratyaha. So here it's so once steps are easy, we do the supluk, the su goes away, and then we get same thing. Angam gets the persanya by yachibham and yasyati cha. Ivarnantasya varnantasya vasya lopabhavati tadhite ikare cha pare. So we get dandin. And then we declare dandin, we get the sutram saucha. Anuji's favorite sutram saucha. This adhikara of upada dirgha is copyrighted by Anuji. So there once you use sutram, you have to pay her a tax over there. So saucha sutram is that when you have a pratipadikam ending in han, pushan or aryaman, this saucha, like upada dirgha. So we have varuthin becomes varuthi. That's varuthi means rathin. Rathi. So he was a one. So alokya. So lankesham varuthinam alokya. Ramam tu padatim meva alokya. So Indra was watching this combat with interest, of course. He wants, that's just swartho vartate. He has an interest in Ravana being destroyed. So he noticed that Sri Rama was just a foot soldier while he was on foot. While Lankesha, Ravana was a Rathi. He had a chariot. So Rathinam alokya. Prajighaya. He sent the chariot to Ramasya Sahayartham. So Varutha Asti Asyati Varuthi Ata inithanau. Then we get the form Varuthin. And then we can do Saucha Dirgha, Upada Dirgha Varuthin. Now Padatihi. Padatihi is this says Padabhyam. It comes in, I think we have it here itself as he given us. It says Padabhyam Atatiti Padatihi. Then tam padacharinam. So padbhyam, so padabhyam charati padacharin. So he says someone who goes by foot is padatihi. This is the Unadi Sutra which is used over here to derive this form padatihi. From ata satatya gamane means to constantly move. Satatya gamane means to move around constantly. Ata satatya gamane. So pada plus bhyam plus ata plus pratya in. Unadi Sutram Padecha. Unadi Sutram which says that this Pratya in is being used, and then we do Anubandha Lopaha, and then we get the Atopadhaya, again Upada Dirgha, no sorry, Vridhyadesha, Atopadhaya, this is Vridhyadesha, becomes Ati. Then of course the entire, this is the Upapada Samasa, we can look at Pade. Pade is again Saptamyantam, Tatrapadam Saptamistham. Tatrapadam Saptamistham 3192. See the Unadayaha. Unadayo Bahulam is compressed by Panini into one single sutram. Unadayo Bahulam. So the Unadi Pratyas, they're also Krut Pratyaha because they come in the adhikara of Krudating. They also come in the adhikara of Tatrapadam Saptamistham. Tatrapadam Saptamistham. So for this adhikara of Tatrapadam Saptamistham and to the thing, it applies to the Unadi Sutra, Unadi Pratyas also. So now we get, so this entire thing becomes a Pradibadikam by Krit Tadita Samasashcha. We just talked about that. The Unadis are Krit Pratyas. So we get the Pradibadika Sanya and Supodhatu Pradibadika Yoho Supluk. And then this special sutram says, remember we talked about 6.3, we discussed that in the class previously, is when we form a samasa, there are three basic sections of the Ashtadhyayi which you have to study in forming compounds. Firstly, 2-1 or 2-2 to form a compound. Right now, which one are you using? Really have to mention here. You have to mention that Tatra Upapadam Upapadam Mating. This Pade is Saptami. So when the Pad is Upapada, then this At takes Dhatu. This Dhatu At Sata Digamane takes the end Pratyaya. So first is Samasa Vidhayaka Sutram. Then there might be a Samasa Anta Pratyaya which starts in the end of 5.4. 5.4, I think it's 5.4.68 Samasantaha, and then there might be some Vishesha Karyam for the Purvapadam, and that is 6.3. So right now, because it says Uttarapade Sati, so Uttarapade, so 6.3. So these are three sections to form compounds. Is first in 2.1 or 2.2 we have to find the Samasa Vidhayaka Sutram, then from 5.4.68 to end of 5.4 Samas Anta Pratyaya, something happens at the end of the compound, and then in 6.3 something which may happen to the first member of the compound, like Atmane Padam, Yudhishthiraha, Vishwamitraha, and all these words, something special is happening to the Purvapadam. So right now we have a sutram in that section. 6.352 says Padasya Pad Aji Ati Gopa Hateshu. So Padhata. So Padati. So this Pada becomes this is the typo here. It should become Pad Adeshaha. Pada becomes Pad. So Pada takes the Pad Adeshaha. So what we have, we'll look at 6.352 before we go to the translation now. 6.352 says Padasya Pad Adeshaha. So 6.352 says again with Adhikar of Uttarapade. So here we have 6.352 Padasya Pad. So it says Padasya Pad. I think it's Pad. Padeti Lupti Prathamantam. Oh, I guess maybe it's Pada. I guess Pada Adesha, I guess it takes. Okay. I thought it was Pada. Let me just double check that. Because I thought the Adesha was so Pada. I guess we can look at the words. Aunadikaha Pratyaha. So, okay, it's a Pada Adesha. Okay, not Pada Adesha. Okay, I'm sorry. Because, okay. The Pad comes in the next sutra, I'm sorry. So this, okay. So 6.352 is a Pada Adesha. Pada Adesha. So this 6.352, see, in every class I learn something new. At least more than something. I learn a lot in every class. So this class, unless you teach, you will never learn. Unless you teach Adhyapanat Eva. Jnanam Griyate, Jnanam Labhyate, Anayasena Labhyate, Dridam Bhavati. Chirasthai Bhavati. So only by teaching you will learn. If you don't teach, you will never learn correctly. So, see, today I learned this one new thing. I knew this Padasya Pad Adeshaha. I know that Paddhati, like Paddhati. See, Pada Prasati becomes Paddhati. It's quite a famous word. But now, right now, I was thinking Pada takes the Pada Adeshaha, which this is the Pada Adeshaha. It's Padajati Gopahateshu. This is the Pada Adesh. Look at the commentary here. It says Pada iti lupta prathamantam prutak padam. So Pada. So this is the Adantaha. So Adantaha iti. So it is the Adanta Adeshaha. And how we say Uttara Sutre Pad iti halantyasya grahanad iti bhavaha. So this is that Uttara Sutre Pad grahanat Pada iti ayam adantaha. So this means that this is lesson for me today. Lesson for me today is that I knew Pada takes the Pada Adesha. So I just assume this is Pada Adesha. It is not. By this sutram, Pada takes the Pada Adesha. But how do we know that? Because if you look at the Sandhi, it could be Pad or Pada. Both will give the same Sandhi. Padajyatigopahithateshu. But the next sutram talks about Pad Adesha. That means that's why Bhattoji says that this is the Adanta Adesha. So this is the Pada Adesha. So okay. So when do you take this other Adesha? When followed by one of these terms. Aji, Ati. This is the Ga. And then Upahata. So aji, ati, ga and upahata. There might be a typo in that in documents. Okay, so it's aji, ati, ga and upahata. This pada takes the pada adesh. So when followed by one of these in the compound, the pada takes pada adeshaha. So now what we have is that. So that's lesson for me today. So now we go back to here. I'll change it. I'll change it back. I'll change it back to the way it was. It was correct the way it was. So it becomes the pada adeshaha. Then pada plus ati padatihi dirghaha. So the sutram again is that pada bhyam atati is padatihi. One who goes, it's a foot. One who goes on foot. Basically means a foot soldier, normally foot soldier. Okay. So let we have everything now. I think we have everything for the shlokaha. So having noticed, anything here? Okay. So tasmai, again, look at beautifully, always he clarifies which is the noun behind the pronoun. So tasmai ramaya prajighaya prahitavan. In fact, look at this. He very kindly tells you that prajighaya is prahitavan. So he converts the usage to a simpler usage. Pratyaktavatu, nishtha pratyaktavatu. So he makes it into a past active participle. Pratyaktavatu. So he says prahitavan. So if you did not know what the dhatu in prajighaya is, you can look at the commentary. Look at the commentary. It says prahitavan. So that's how you know. Because it's difficult. It may be difficult to decipher the dhatu in prajighaya. If you may not know, look at the commentary. He says prahitavan. These commentaries are so useful. They're so useful. Because prajighayam is prahitavan means now you know dhatu is pra plus he. Prahitavan. Okay. Let's look at the translation now. Okay. Okay, let's look at translation. Okay. Ready, sir?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now observing, noticing.
Alokya.
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 So it's alokya. It's a lyabantam alokya. Rama is Ramam. Standing on foot, moving on foot, going on foot is
Padatim.
Padabhyam atati iti padatihi. Tam padatim. And is
Cha.
The Lord of Lanka.
Lankesham.
This is all Dvitiya Vibhakti, the object of alokya. Seated in a chariot.
Varuthinam.
I don't know where you got seated from. Well, I guess one who has it's I think understood. One who has a chariot, with a chariot. Indra is Purandaraha. Sent.
Prajighaya.
That is the special thing. Prahi. So send him for him.
Tasmai
Ramaya. His is understood. Chariot is Ratham. Furnished with bay horses is Hariyugyam. Hariyugyam is Kapila Varnashvam, which horses were brownish in color. Thank you, sir. Okay, time is running out. This was an interesting shloka. We had the form Yugyam. We had the form Padatihi. We had, of course, Varuthinam a little bit. That was more straightforward. Only thing is Varuthinam means Rathinam. Rathinam. And then we had the form Prajighaya. So we had a couple of forms here. Okay. Now but we can now handle all of these. It's not that we cannot handle. If you know Ashtadhyayi, you should be able to handle these forms. At least when we are told what the pratyaya and what the dhatu is and what the formation is, we can look up. We cannot, of course, know every sutram, on top of our head, but at least when we look at the commentary, we can go through the steps. Okay. Let's look at the next shloka and let's take some homework. So it says, Tamadhuta dvajapatam vyoma gangormi vayubhi devasuta bhujalambi jaitram madhyastha raghavaha. Tamadhuta dvajapatam vyoma gangormi vayubhi devasuta bhujavalambi Jaitram Madhyastha Raghavaha. So tam is Ratham from Prakarana Nyayate. So Anuvartate. So Ratham Anuvartate. So tam Ratham. Adhuta Dvajapatam is a Bahuvri compound. It's qualifying Ratham. Then Vyoma Gangormi Vayubhi clearly is Titya Bhavachanam. If you know the ending is Bhihi in a Subantam Padam, it's going to be Titya Bhavachanam. So Vayubhihi. So Vyoma Gangormi, Urmi is a wave. Urmi is a wave. Vayu, of course, is the winds or the wafts of wind, gusts of wind. So it was a chariot. Adhuta, Dhui company. Adhuta means shaking. So one whose the cloth of its flag, Dvajapatam, the cloth of its flag was shaking, was fluttering. So it was a chariot which had a fluttering flag. And the flag was fluttering because of these wafts of wind which was coming from the waves of Ganga, the Vyoma Ganga. Since Ganga is supposed to be, following three paths, right? It goes from Vyomni, Prithvivyam, and then Patala. It goes below also. So it is supposed to have, so mythologically, Ganga is supposed to descend in three ways. So it is supposed to have like that. So this, because Indra sent his chariot. So Swargad Agataha. It came from Sarga. So because of the wind on the way, and the way it was hit by this wind, it was coming from these waves of the Akasha Ganga. Prajapatikam Vyoman Prajapatikam Vyoma Ganga. So it was a chariot which was fluttering, whose flag was fluttering on account of the wind which was coming from the wind which came from the waves of the Akasha Ganga. Then Devasut Bhujavalambi. Again, look at this Padavin Alambin. Devasut Bhujalambin. Alambin. Lamba is to hang. Alamba is to rest, to recline, or to take support. Like Swavalambanam, right? Say Swavalambanam means independent, self-supporting. So avalambanam. So alambanam, avalambanam means to take, to rest, or to relax, or to take support. To take support. So Devasuta straightforward. Matalihi means he is a charioteer of Indra. So Devas Indrasya Sutaha. Then Tasya Bhujaha. So the hand of Indra's chariot, which is Matalihi. Alambin. So see, Ramaha took the support of Matali's hand. And then Jaitram Adhyast Raghavaha. Jaitram is qualifying Ratham, the victorious chariot of Indra. So Jayashilaha. So which is says that Jayanashilaha, who was accustomed to winning. This chariot was a winning chariot which would win all the time. Shilaha, that was the nature of the chariot. It was a victorious. It was accustomed to winning all the time. And Adhyasta means that he presided over. Adhika means to over. As is to sit. Upaveshane. So it comes in Bhagavad Gita. Ya aste manasasmaran. Karmendriyani sanyamya. Ya aste manasasmaran. Indriyata vimudhatma mithyacharas uchyate. Chapter 3 of Gita. Oh, of course in Gita, upasate, as, dhatu, upa as is to sit close by, means to serve, or to attend upon. But adhyasta means, as just means to sit. So ya aste manasasmaran, who just sits mentally contemplating. So, thinking about the Vishaya Bhoga. He's a mithyachara suchyate. He's a fake. So, but adhyasta means to go on top, means to he climbed, or he presided over. Adhyasta is that adhishtitavan. So he took control. He took control of the chariot. So simple sentence is that Raghavaha tam Indrena preshitam ratham adhyasta. Adhyasta means adhishtitavan. So Ramaha now took control of, he climbed on, he presided over that chariot which was sent by Indra. And what kind of Ramaha? He had taken the support of Matali's arm to climb on top. And what kind of chariot? It was a victorious chariot, a chariot which would win all the time. And a chariot whose flag was fluttering. Adhuta. Du is to accompany, is to shake, but fluttering. On account of this wind, or by the wind, which is coming from the waves of the Vyoma Akashaganga. So, and Jaitram is, as said, so for homework, please, we'll go to translation, we'll give you some homework, is this Sutram 5438, which we have used previously in the class, which is the Swarte An Pratyaha. Swarte An. If you can take some homework, please, is the, you form the word Jetru, and then to add this Swarte An. So take for homework 5438, Prajnadibhyashcha, Prajnah eva Prajnah, Rakshaha eva Rakshasaha, Manaha eva Manasam. So these things we get these forms where they like Bandhur eva Bandhavaha. So these words take the Swarte An. So without Artha Parivartanam Vina. So they take the Pratyaya An without any change in the meaning. So Prajna and Prajna same meaning. So Jaitra and in fact in Bhagavad Gita, I think we can use this one. I'll double check that before next class. I think we can use this one in the Bhagavad Gita. I know time is up, I know that. So in the Maitra Karuna Evacha comes in Bhagavad Gita in the chapter 12, Bhaktis Lakshanani. So the signs of a devotee. It says that Maitra Karuna Evacha. So it says Maitraha. It comes over here. Maitraha. I think Mitram Eva Maitraha. So friendly, one who's a friend. Karuna Evacha. So I think we can apply it here also. I'll double check that for next class. Okay. So that's for homework, and then maybe we can take. Let's just take that much for homework. We'll do this one you see in the class before. Is Sutram 3278 Supya Jato Ninistachilye. You can look at that for homework. So 3278 for homework and 5438 for homework. Also look at 32135 Pratyatrin in the sense of the Chila Trin Pratyaha. And okay, let's do the translation. We'll stop for the class today. Let's take the translations we get so you can know what the translation is. Let's see. Okay. Ready, sir?
Yes.
Raghava.
Raghava.
Supporting himself.
Alambin.
Alambin. It's in the compound, but it's Alambin. Alambin Pradipadikam, Alambi, when it is been declined by Saucha. On the hand is
Bhuja.
Alambi. Of the charioteer is
Deva Suta.
So of the charioteer is Suta Bhujavalambi, and then of the guards is Deva Suta Bhujavalambi. Charioteer of the guards. So taking support of the hand of the charioteer of the guards, took his seat. Adhyasta. Means as is to sit. So Adhyasta literally took his seat. In that, I think this is a thumb. Adhyasta thumb.
Chariot.
In fact, I'm sorry. We need one more homework here. I'm sorry. Time is up. I know. We need one more homework, please. Is that how we got Ditya Vibhakti here? And that is a good homework. Is that it's important homework which I missed in the document. I'm glad I caught it now. Is the homework is that how we got Ditya Vibhakti? Is that normally we should have had the Saptami, right? Because you sit in the chariot. So for homework, take this one. This is Sutram. Adishing Sthasam Karma. The special, Pani a special Sutram where he mentioned Adi with Shing, Stha and As gets the Karma Sanya. So look at Sutram 1446 for homework. Important homework 1446. Okay. That's why we got the Dvitya Vibhakti in Sanskritam. In English we said in that. So in that is Tam. So look at the Sutram for homework, please. Is that 46. Okay. All right. In that is tam. Victorious is
Jaitra.
Jaitram. Jaitram. Victorious. Chariot is that tam ratham. The tam.
Tam Ratham.
The banner cloth of which was shaken. It is the
Adhuta
Dhwaja
Patam.
Patam. Adhuta is fluttering. Dhwaja is flag, and Patam is the cloth of that flag. So banner cloth was shaken. By the breezes is
Vayubhi.
Vayubhi. Coming from the waves of the Ganga, celestial Ganga, is
Vyoma Ganga.
Vyoma Ganga and Urmi. Vyoma Gangormi Vayubhi. So Vyoman is that's the celestial, the sky, the ethereal. And Ganga is of course Ganga, and wave is Urmi. Okay, we'll do it more in detail next time. Thank you, sir. Let's stop with that. So Ramo Rajamanis Sada Vijayate Ramam Ramesham Bhaje.